ASMR things. Story 1. In the small town of Willow Creek, nestled deep in the heart of a dense forest, there stood an old abandoned mansion that locals whispered about in hushed tones. The mansion was said to be cursed, haunted by the spirits of its former inhabitants who met gruesome fates within its walls. One stormy night, a group of adventurous teenagers dared each other to spend the night in the mansion, eager to prove their bravery. Armed with flashlights and nerves of steel, they entered the decaying building, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. As the night wore on, strange noises echoed through the halls, and shadows danced in the dim light. Each creak of the floorboards sent shivers down their spines, and an eerie chill permeated the air. Suddenly, one by one, the teenagers began to disappear, snatched away by unseen forces. Panic ensued as the remaining few desperately searched for a way out, but the mansion seemed to twist and turn, trapping them within its malevolent grasp. In the darkest corner of the mansion, they stumbled upon a decrepit room, its walls adorned with faded portraits of the mansion's former owners. As they gazed upon the faces of the long dead, they felt a presence watching them, cold and unyielding. With nowhere left to run, they realized too late the true nature of the mansion's curse. For in that room they became part of its tragic history, doomed to wander its halls for eternity, their screams echoing through the night as a warning to all to dare to enter the Willow Creek. Story 2. In the small village of Ravenswood, nestled between mist-covered mountains, there stood an ancient oak tree with twisted branches that reached toward the sky like skeptical fingers. Locals whispered tales of a malevolent spirit that lurked there within the tree, waiting to ensnare unsuspecting souls. One moonless night, a lone traveler seeking shelter stumbled upon Ravenswood and sought refuge beneath the gnarled branches of the oak tree. As he drifted into an uneasy sleep, he was plagued by haunting dreams of shadowy figures, whispering secrets too dreadful to comprehend. Awakening with a start, he found himself bound by unseen forces, his limbs entangled in thick, thorny vines that sprouted from the very roots of the tree. Panic surged through him as he realized he was not alone. From the darkness emerged the spirit of the oak, a twisted apparition with eyes like coals burning with malevolence. It spoke in a voice that echoed with the agony of centuries, promising eternal torment to those who dared to disturb its slumber. Desperate to escape, the traveler pleaded for mercy, but the spirit's grasp only tightened, its laughter echoing through the night like a death knell. With each passing moment, the traveler felt his essence being drained away, consumed by the insatiable hunger of the oak. As dawn broke, the villagers of Ravenswood discovered the traveler's lifeless body entwined with the roots of the cursed oak tree. From that day forth, they avoided the tree like a plague, knowing that to disturb its ancient slumber was to invite doom upon themselves. And so the oak tree of Ravenswood remained, a silent sentinel looming over the village, its secrets buried deep within its twisted heart. Story 3. In the heart of the sprawling city, there stood an old, decrepit apartment building known as the Whispering Tower. Legend had it that the walls of the building held the whispers of all who had lived and died within its confines, their restless spirits lingering in the shadows. One rainy night, Sarah, a young woman new to the city, moved into the top floor of the Whispering Tower. Despite the warnings of neighbors, she brushed off their superstitions, eager to start fresh in her new home. But as the days passed, strange occurrences began to plague Sarah. Whispers echoed through the walls at night, faint voices calling her name in the darkness. Objects moved on their own, and cold drafts chilled the air even on the warmest of days. Desperate for answers, Sarah delved into the building's dark history, uncovering tales of tragedy and despair. It seemed each tenant had met a gruesome fate, their souls trapped within the walls of the Whispering Tower. Determined to break the curse, Sarah sought out a local medium who claimed to communicate with the spirits of the dead. Together, they performed a seance, hoping to bring peace to the restless souls that haunted the building. But as the seance began, the whispers grew louder, filling the room with an otherworldly chorus. Suddenly, the medium's eyes rolled back in her head, and she spoke in a voice of not her own. "The tower demands a sacrifice," the voice intoned, sending chills down Sarah's spine. "Only blood can quench its thirst." Terrified, Sarah fled the building, but the whispers followed her, haunting her every step. In the end, she realized there was no escape from the Whispering Tower, for its grip was internal and its hunger insatiable. And so she became just another ghostly voice lost in the endless chorus of the damned. Story 4. Deep in the heart of the countryside, where the trees whispered secrets and the wind carried tales of old, there existed a forgotten cemetery, hidden from the prying eyes of the living. It was said that those who were laid to rest there would never truly have peace, their restless spirits lingering among the gravestones. One misty evening, a curious traveler stumbled upon the cemetery, drawn by an inexplicable pull that seemed to beckon him closer. Ignoring the warning signs, he ventured into the decrepit grounds, his footsteps muffled by the damp earth. As he wandered among the tombstones, he felt an eerie chill settle over him, the air thick with the weight of the past. Shadows danced in the moonlight, casting twisted shapes upon the ground, and he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the stillness, soft and sorrowful, calling out to him from the darkness. Frozen in fear, he turned to flee, but a spectral figure emerged from the shadows, his hollow eyes fixated on him with an insatiable hunger. With every step he took, the ground seemed to shift beneath him, the cemetery twisting and contorting into a labyrinth of graves. Desperate to escape, he stumbled through the maze, the whispers of the dead echoing in his ears. Just when he thought all hope was lost, he stumbled upon an ancient crypt, its stones slightly ajar. With no other options left, he pushed it open and sought refuge within its cold embrace. But as he huddled in the darkness, he realized too late the true nature of the crypt. For within its walls lay the remains of those who had been forgotten by time, their tormented souls hungering for release. And as the traveler's screams echoed through the night, the cemetery claimed yet another victim, its secrets buried once more beneath the earth. Story 5. In the sleepy town of Willowbrook, nestled between mist-covered hills and dense forests, there stood an old, abandoned carnival grounds. Once a place of joy and laughter, it had long been forgotten, its attractions left to decay beneath the relentless march of time. Legend had it that on the night of the blood moon, the spirits of the carnival performance would rise from their graves, seeking vengeance on those who had congested rides and crumbling booths, a sense of unease settled over them, the air heavy with the weight of the forgotten memories. Shadows danced in the moonlight, casting twisted shapes upon the ground, and the distant sound of laughter and echo through the darkness. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to shake, the earth trembling with an otherworldly force. Panic ensued as they scrambled to escape, but the carnival seemed to have a mind of its own, its decaying attractions coming to life in a macabre dance of death. Clowns and painted smiles chased them through the maze of tents, their laughter echoing like a twisted symphony. The carousel spun wildly out of control, its broken horses galloping in a nightmarish frenzy. And amidst the chaos, the spirits of the performers emerged from the shadows, their eyes burning with an insatiable hunger for revenge. With every step they took, the carnival grounds shifted and twisted, its maze-like corridors leading them further into the abyss. And as the blood moon reached its zenith, the thrill-seekers realized too late the true horror of their folly. For in the heart of the carnival grounds, they found themselves trapped in a never-ending nightmare, their screams drowned out by the laughter of the damned. And as dawn broke, the carnival grounds stood silently once more, its cursed souls returning to the eternal slumber until the next blood moon rose in the sky.